Listen, we just wanted to do a real quick shout out to our newfound besties.
Yes.
Who have subscribed to our subscription only Judgy After Dark. And it's where we give you the longest and best episodes of all time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's so awesome.
This is some very dark, extended content for your eyes only, Dana. Thank you for joining us. You have been our bestie this week.
I know.
Coffee,
Wow.
subscriptions, hugs. I just can't with you. And then Tina joined us.
Tina, thank you for always being so supportive.
You guys are the best.
All the time. And then we have Stacy. Thank you so much for your support, Stacy.
And Jana and Alyssa.
We can't even with you. So thank you. Thank you so much.
You guys are the best.
We are so happy you're here.
We are not part of a large network. So Claudia and I, we do this because we love it and appreciate your support.
Oh, yes.
Hi, I'm Andrea.
And I'm Claudia.
And we are the Judgy Crime Girls.
Yes, we are. Hello and welcome.
Hello.
And welcome back.
Hello again.
Hi.
Hello there.
How's it going?
It's going good. Welcome to our little corner. Get cozy.
Yeah, get comfy.
Yeah.
Alex had surgery. He broke his wrist.
That's right.
And he had surgery, which went really well, but they put him out like completely. I didn't think they would do that for hand surgery. But I'll tell you what, everybody at O&E, they were amazing at Parkview North. Amazing. Everybody was great.
Good. So we're doing our facts and snacks, and I think that we are having some cheese.
I brought cheese. Who doesn't like cheese? Just plain old Colby Jack of Monterey.
I like cheese with my Ritz crackers.
Yeah. I love my cheese with grapes.
I do like that. I love grapes. I had some this week that were delish.
Yum.
Our fact is, and this is so creepy, it just drives me insane, is that research shows that most of the serial killers arrested are those with homes and families, most of which are also normal members of their neighborhood communities. Most serial killers do not dress strangely or act any differently than normal people. That would be why they can't come up with a profile.
Yeah, they just blend right in.
They sure do.
Yeah. Interesting.
That would be that.
So I have a case for you that is still unsolved.
Okay.
And it is actually not that long ago, in 2016. And there's still hope that maybe this case will get solved.
Okay. Let's hear it.
So I'm taking you to Malta.
Ooh.
Yeah, like a little island. In July 2016, 17-year-old Mike Mansholt traveled from Germany to the island of Malta in the Mediterranean Sea to see his girlfriend. She was doing a language course in Malta. And this was Mike's first trip alone, like ever. However, Mike was a pretty seasoned traveler. The Mansholt's family passion was traveling, and when Mike was 5 years old in 2004, the family left for their famous sailing trip around the world. That's pretty cool, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So they started the trip from the North Sea, which is where I'm from, through the Bay of Biscay, via the Canary Islands to the Caribbeans, and near the Panama Canal, they met some Kuna Indians and pirates that were lurking off the coast. That's kind of scary.
Yeah.
These pirates.
I'm just picturing a 5-year-old going like with his little plastic sword.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Yeah. So the family was at sea for 774 days. Oh. And, you know, when they got back, they traveled everywhere all the time. So Mike and his dad, Band Mansholt, they were super duper close. Their common hobby was model aircraft flying. They both talked about heartaches they've had. Mike was talking about his girlfriend because she was away, and Band shared the heartbreak of the separation from Mike's mom. But the greatest passion they shared was sports. On Mike's 18th birthday, on August 20th, they wanted to run their first marathon in Iceland together. Mike was a trainee at Airbus. He was the best in his high school class when he graduated, and he beat out hundreds of applicants for that job. And Mike was just all around a nice kid.
Aww.
Just a nice kid, straightforward, experimental, but he was not a thrill seeker.
Yeah.
Mike gets to Malta, and Malta is beautiful. It sits right between Sicily and North Africa. He first spent time with his girlfriend. They hung out and had a great time, but when it was time to fly home, he decided to extend his vacation a bit longer to explore the island alone. Mike checked in at Astra, which is a small hotel on the east side of the island. The hotel has cameras that capture everything, fortunately. So some of the last moments of Mike are documented. He can be seen walking through the lobby wearing a blue t-shirt, a cell phone in his hand, and a backpack over his shoulder. So on July 18th, he left room number 105 at 8:39 a.m. and returned at 9:10 a.m. and asked for the bill. The camera shows 9:55:03 when Mike locked the door to his room. He then stepped out of the lobby and walked down to the harbor. There, Mike rented a blue-black mountain bike, and his plan for the day was to visit the realm of the dead, the catacombs in Rabat, consisting of ancient tombs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he wanted to do that day. So he sends a voice message via WhatsApp. It said, "Okay, I'm renting a bike and driving through Malta today. However, the roads are so steep. I'll send you a photo shortly. You can only walk them up in some parts. With a bike, it's not possible. But it doesn't matter. It's a sporting challenge, and I like that." And at that moment, at 10:11 a.m., on the hot day of July 18th, 2016, Mike Mansholt is online for the last time. On July 19th, he did not return the rented mountain bike as planned, and on July 22nd, he did not land at Bremen Airport, where his mother and sister were waiting for him.
Oh, no.
So she is not worried right away. She thought maybe he missed a connecting flight from Frankfurt. Happens,
Yeah.
right? So they waited for the next flight, and there was no Mike. So now she's getting worried, and phone calls to his cell phone go unanswered. She calls Mike's dad, who was on vacation in Croatia, and he's like, "I'm going to cancel my trip, and I'll be home tomorrow or the day after." But Mike's mom didn't want to wait that long for his dad to get back home to Germany, and that same night at 2:19 a.m., she reports the disappearance of her son to the police in Oldenburg. The police officers on duty take the case, a case number is assigned, and Mike officially becomes a missing person on July 23rd, 2016. The police officer types Mike's characteristics into the computer to create his profile. Mike was 5'5", natural red hair, muscular build, etc. But then, as the officer is typing in this information, he's like, this is weird. He discovers, according to the internal police system, that there has already been a search for Mike taking place in Malta for the last 4 days.
Oh, weird.
It says he hadn't been seen on the island since that morning when he rented the mountain bike that he didn't return, and the manager of his hotel reported him missing to the police, and nobody notified Mike's family.
Oh, no.
At all.
Oh, that is so sad. That's wrong.
So for 4 days, they're thinking he's fine, yet the Malta police is already looking for him.
Well, would they even have a way to get their information to call them?
Oh, I'm sure the police does. If nothing else, call the police where he's from. He has an ID. We all have to carry IDs, his passport. A lot of hotels, you have to put down your information, where you're from, your phone number. They could have notified his parents somehow.
Right.
And if nothing else, maybe the embassy on the island. So Mike's dad flies straight to Malta because he wants to be part of the search party. At around 10 o'clock on the morning of July 26th, a police search party found Mike's body among the Dingley Cliffs. Mike was lying in a rock depression. His bike hung a few feet up in a bush, and his sunglasses and shoes were a little further down than Mike. The police quickly came up with a theory. Mike did not drive down the narrow lanes where you can drive down the cliffs to the beach area. He fell off the top with the rented mountain bike, 29 meters from up there to the site where he was found, and that is 95 feet.
Oh my God.
That he fell.
Oh.
But did he fall? Mike's body was under a huge rock ledge. The spot is not visible from the top, and no one who falls accidentally could fall where he was laying on accident. The coroner found no fractures, no injuries, not even major wounds on Mike's body. Mike's bike was barely damaged. It only had a flat tire and a few scratches on the frame. Mike's backpack is missing, and I feel like that should have been right next to him or somewhere close if he fell on accident.
Maybe, or maybe it fell off of the cliff.
Yeah, he had it on his shoulders.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. But it was missing. So when Mike left the Astra Hotel on the morning of July 18th, he was carrying that backpack because it was captured on the security camera, and Mike's father could look at the videos and the pictures. So he had the backpack. It was said to have contained, among other things, several €100 in cash and Mike's cell phone. They were hoping maybe, if they find the cell phone, it could provide information about maybe Mike's last few hours, or maybe are there photos stored on it. But the backpack has disappeared. The police could not find it. And they said probably tourists have taken it. Like it was stolen. And I'm thinking, yeah, okay, but they take the backpack, but leave Mike there?
Yeah. No one would just take the bag unless the bag had fallen and somebody picked it up. But that's so unlikely. I feel like, when I wear a backpack, which I do all the time.
Right.
It's on me.
Right.
Like it's not, unless if I just do one shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
But he's riding a bike.
Yes.
So he's going to have it on both shoulders for sure.
And I usually tighten my straps because I don't like it hanging like from my shoulders. Like it gets too heavy. So I tighten the strap so it's tight on me. And I'm sure that's what he did. But the backpack was missing. Band, Mike's dad, also noticed fresh hay at the crime scene. Police told him it was old hay. And I'm thinking, why is there hay in the rocks on the cliff by the beach? But whatever, there was hay. But Band was like, nah, that's not old hay. So he went to talk to different farmers nearby and ended up talking to a farmer who was acting super duper weird towards Band. And Band couldn't really describe it, but when he asked about his son, the guy was just really strange, just acting really weird. Guilty, maybe? I don't know. So Band, of course, told the police about the weird conversation he had with a farmer about the hay they found at the crime scene. So Mike loved taking pictures and videos, and for that reason, he got a GoPro camera. Remember those?
Yeah.
But where was that? Witnesses have confirmed that Mike had the camera constantly on him on vacation. He also sent several video recordings to his father, but the GoPro has disappeared. Later, when the police handed over his son's belongings to Band, The police gave him a 17-year-old Canon camera instead. And they're like, here you go. Here's the camera. The camera was older than his son. And Band was like, that's not a GoPro. That's not Mike's camera.
Oh, no.
It was just an old digital Canon camera. Band believes his son wore the camera on his belt. The investigating inspector had confirmed 3 times there had been a black case for a camera on his belt. And once she even admitted it in front of witnesses, but later she denied she ever said such a thing.
No.
She's like, I never said that. That's a lie. The GoPro was gone. But here's the most important question, though. Where are Mike's organs?
What?
Yes, you heard me right. Where are his organs? When Mike's body was transferred back to Germany and examined there a second time, the forensic physicians were like, first of all, he feels kind of light, but Mike is missing almost all important organs. His heart, lungs, liver, pancreas, right kidney, bladder, prostate, stomach, small intestine, and his brain was missing.
What in the world is happening?
So the head of the forensic examination, Professor Mario Scari in Malta, said Mike had already arrived at the morgue, like without any organs, and that wildlife and rodents would have eaten the organs. Unfortunately, he said. And the brain, he said, that had liquefied.
No.
The body was laying there for 5 days, tops. Can a brain liquefy that fast?
I have never heard of such a thing. Never, ever. Now, I am sure there is wildlife that came along.
Yeah.
And it was probably not a lot of shade, I'm imagining.
Right.
But still.
Well, the German forensic doctors could not discover any animal bites of any kind on Mike's body, and they do not consider the brain to have liquefied completely. They're like, that's impossible. So in Germany, well, the doctors also said something else. The corpse had not been embalmed, although Dr. Scari in Malta had officially stated that it had. So when they got the body and they opened the coffin, they're like, that's a familiar smell of decomposition. So he had not been embalmed.
Oh, gross.
Of course, Band Mansholt sent Dr. Scari an email and told him about all this, the organs, and that he hadn't been embalmed. And Dr. Scari answered that the statement of the German doctors were absolutely false and they're lying. And his employees embalmed the body using a formaldehyde solution as prescribed to my satisfaction, is what he said.
Can you imagine being that dad? How
That's
awful.
Just absolutely terrible. I don't know. Just crazy.
And no answers. That's normal.
Right. Dr. Scari in Malta is a respected man, and he has won several awards for his work. On the internet, there's a YouTube video in which he proudly talks about how he and his people managed to autopsy 29 washed-up refugees in just 3 days. So he's just bragging about that.
Gross.
Yeah.
Like how quickly they can work.
Yeah.
Like, choose us. We're the quickest in town.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's terrible.
But then Band found something out and drew new hope because the investigation file would contain the autopsy report from the hospital. In Malta, autopsies are logged step by step, and usually every step is also documented by photos. So he's like, great, I just need to see the autopsy report and see what happened to the organs. In the investigation file, one would also find the photos of the location of the body. Band recalled that on July 26th, hundreds of photos were taken on the cliff. The photos could prove that Mike was wearing the GoPro camera on his belt. An investigation file should include the police report. It would contain clues about what the police have been doing in recent months to track down Mike's missing backpack or his GoPro. And what did the strange farmer from Dingley say to the police when Band thought the police actually talked to them because he reported that whole conversation with the farmer? But Band does not find a detailed autopsy report in the file. There's only one single page which summarizes the known statements: missing organs, animal feeding, cause of death, unknown.
That's it.
On one single page.
Oh my goodness. He probably about fell over.
I'm sure he did. The file did not contain a single photograph of anything from that day. The police report ends the day after the finding of the body. There's no evidence of a search for a backpack, GoPro, missing organs, talking to a farmer. Nothing shows up in that police report. They just stop we found a dead body, and that's it. Nothing else.
Is that normal?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm sure even in Malta, they have to be a little bit more thorough.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. The answer to the question of what the Maltese authorities were doing is obvious to Mike's father. They didn't do shit.
Right.
There are several possible scenarios of how Mike could have died. Mike crashed. The German forensic scientists have no doubt a crash from 25 to 30 meters in height is virtually ruled out. He didn't have any broken bones. If you fall 95 feet, I'm sure you'll have broken bones, right?
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure, where he fell, he couldn't have, that wasn't a little path too where he could have. No, it was very clearly you had to fall where he fell.
Well, they said there's no way anybody could fall on accident and land where Mike was found.
Okay.
Because he was kind of under a ledge, like a rock ledge.
Okay.
So they're accidentally, you cannot land where he was found when you fall.
Yeah.
So they thought Mike was accidentally shot by hunters, and there are bird hunters all the time in that area. But no bullets or bullet holes were found in Mike's body. Mike had an accident at the top of the road, and maybe he was hit by a car. To cover up the accident, the driver has brought the injured Mike on the cliff or thrown him over. An accident and the disposal of the body over cliffs are not supported by the integrity of the corpse. If a second person was involved in the accident that carried the body down, the question was as to why he picked such a weird, hard-to-get spot, and also the arrangements with the bicycle and the shoes. The bike was in the bushes above him, and the shoes and his sunglasses were below him.
Oh, yeah.
So they're if the driver maybe hit him on accident but wanted to, maybe he was drunk, I don't know, wanted to hide it, why would he carry him all the way down there, which is super hard to get to? Mm-hmm. They're that doesn't really make sense. However, the second person involved could be an explanation for the fact that the backpack and the GoPro camera have disappeared.
Well, I'm kind of thinking that definitely it was theft involved, but also I think he survived the attack and went under there to seek shelter from the rain or the elements. That's what I would do.
That's what his dad thought too.
Yeah.
Another theory was Mike had been the victim of a robbery, and this is indicated by the lack of, his stuff was gone, his valuables. But again, this is not supported by the integrity of the corpse and the absence of foreign bodies such as metal parts in the body. And I don't know if they're talking about bullets again, that he was robbed and shot. But other causes of death cannot be determined because the internal organs and the brain were gone.
See, that is just what's so weird about this case. It's almost like everything was rigged and everybody was out to get him.
Right. Another theory was Mike had been killed by organ traffickers. But I think that would be kind of hard to do somewhere out, I'm going to say in the wild, to slice them open, remove the organs, and then stage an accident.
There is no way you can remove everybody's organs and then just be like, oopsies.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
I mean, probably when they saw the body, they thought animals got to it, but really not so much. I mean, sure, some animals had, but yeah. I don't have a lot of faith in anyone in this case.
I tell you, nobody.
The police,
they're all just lying and covering something up. But another theory was that Mike has died of exhaustion, of heat, exertion, dehydration, that he was trying maybe to get down the path. Maybe he rode already all day and he was just dehydrated and tired, but no evidence can be made because of the lack of organs again.
Oh, right.
So they can't even really determine any of that. But the authorities were able to clarify Mike did not die of a projectile. The skull is not broken. He did not suffer any blunt force trauma. He did not have any broken bones. But the Maltese authorities, they just stuck to their official statement. The boy fell down the cliffs, a tragic accident, and that's it. This is the most likely explanation. Mike's last trip was September 4th, 2016, 2 weeks after his 18th birthday.
Oh, that is so young.
The voyage is recorded in the logbook of the ship MS Meki on a page with a cord and seal. In a dignified manner and according to nautical custom, at 12:13 p.m., the captain hands over the remains of Mike Mansholt to the sea. Just makes me so sad.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. So that was his last trip. His dad took him on the ship and spread his ashes.
Oh, that is so sad.
Yeah. So band travels back to Malta several times to get answers from the authorities, but Maltese officials are not budging, and they are actually extremely rude to him until he gets the German embassy involved. So in May 2018, nearly 2 years after Mike's death, the full Maltese file arrives in his mailbox. Almost 200 pages are now in front of him.
Oh, my goodness.
Of all the reports. He has read the entire file since then. He also looked at the Maltese autopsy photos of his son for the first time, and he really wanted to see them.
Oh my gosh, I'm surprised that they even existed.
Yeah, me too, actually.
I thought they had part-time Timmy in the autopsy room or something.
Well, the pictures still didn't give anybody any answers.
No, but for me, it was just the overall lack of effort. Just tore me up. He is searching for his son.
Yeah.
And what happened?
What happened? So after the German embassy in Malta got involved, the case was reopened. And after the case was reopened, the Maltese judge comes to the same conclusion again. Mike had just fallen off the cliff. There's no other explanation, and it's a tragedy. So after, all these years of just agony and not knowing, Band finally accepts that decision. He wanted to press charges against unknown persons and against a Maltese forensic doctor for failing to embalm him. He was mad. He wanted justice for his son. He wanted somebody to be responsible for this.
Right.
But in the end, he did not see through. He has moved on just a little bit, and he's just exhausted from fighting everybody on that island. Band remarried and has 2 small children with his new wife. He bought a sailboat, and they're out to sea. They're out on a trip, and on board are Band, his wife, Maria, which is Mike's sister, and Mike is there too. And that's what his father hoped for, when he buried him at sea, that his child, his best friend, his son, would always be close to him on every shore of this earth.
Oh, that is so sweet.
And that's it. Bye. And we may never really ever find out what truly happened to Mike in Malta.
Oh, that is awful.
You know, Mike's father said in an interview that he thinks maybe it was a mistake. I think during an autopsy, they do remove organs and weigh them.
Mm-hmm.
And they just forgot to put them back.
Well, I feel like that is a possibility because just the lack of effort
Yeah.
from the police and just everyone in general in this case, just nothing would surprise me at this point.
Well, Band traveled back so many times and nobody... he would go to the police and they would just be so rude to him. And there was a judge he was supposed to talk to and the judge was ill for like forever. He was never there. It's just heartbreaking to be met with such hostility when you're just trying to find out what happened to your child.
Well, let me just ask you this question. On that day in the cameras, when he was seen leaving his last minutes or whatever at the hotel, did he appear sick in any way or like he couldn't handle a trip?
No, he seemed perfectly fine, and he is a very athletic guy, muscular build, and I'm sure that was not his first bike trip. However, in the message on WhatsApp, he said the streets are super steep, and I can't ride these up with my bike, and I think he probably had to push his bike up the street.
And that message was sent before he left the hotel or after?
After. He was already out on his bike.
Do you think he sent that message or someone else?
Well, it was a voice message.
Oh,
like
okay.
you can leave voice messages. It was definitely him.
Well, I definitely don't think he fell with no broken bones. So.
Right. That is what gets to me. I read an article where it said at the crime scene or at the scene, his back was broken twice, but then later at the hospital, he didn't have any broken bones. And you can't fall 95 feet without breaking a single bone.
No.
95 feet.
Wow, that was so good, Claudia.
Well, thank you.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I'm a little emotional. I feel like I need to redo the last whole paragraph.
Yeah, no, that was understandable and beautiful. So beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I will post pictures of the cliff and maybe you can tell me what you think.
Yeah, I would love that. Love to see what it looked like there. And who knows, maybe somebody out there has that backpack.
Yeah.
That would be really nice to have that in the camera one day. That
Definitely.
Might show up.
Definitely that camera. Yes. Oh. Where is it?
Well, we'll have to give our listeners updates for sure if anything gets posted.
Yeah, if there are any, I will definitely let you know. I feel like as this case is, it's closed. He fell and there's nothing more to it. We may never find out what really happened to Mike.
I gotcha.
But you never know.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody will come out of the woodwork. I mean, it's been 7 years and maybe somebody's not sleeping so well in Malta.
Good night, Malta.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much. You guys stay sassy.
Stay judgy.
And stay tuned in with the Judgy Crime Girls every Wednesday. Okay, love you. Bye.